Hello students, welcome to online teaching. We are discussing chapter 6th, the three orders. This is module 4th. In third, we discuss about the first order, that was clergy, and what were the benefits that they were having. They were enjoying their life with happiness. All the facilities were available for them. Now, in this we will discuss the three orders. The three orders, or you may say the third order. These were the peasants. These were the peasants that belong to this third order. Maximum of the population belong to this group, this order. First two orders, they were exempted from paying taxes. Maximum land was acquired by them. They were collecting a lot of revenue from this part of land, but the peasants were the maximum sufferers. They had to do a lot of work, and in exchange of that they were getting nothing. It means it was very difficult for them to survive. Okay. Now the first thing what was that these peasants had to work for the loads. What was that we had discussed earlier, that they had to work of their own as well as of the loads also. Okay. Now what was that? At least 40 days a year they had to serve in army. They had to serve in army. Means these people, they had to serve in this army for at least 40 days a year. Twice a week they had to work in manors. Means they had to work twice a week in manors, where these lords they were living. What was that? They had to work in their fields as well as of the loads. Now next thing, what was that? These peasants had to pay taxes. For example, they are working in their own fields as well as of the masters. What was that? From their fields they have to give some share of the you may say production. What was that? In the domestic work of manure, the children as well as women had to engage in work like cloth making, arranging grapes for wine, and other works for wine. It means what was that? They had to help in cloth making and other household work, and even they had to arrange the wine grapes for the wine, because there were the presses. There were this type of the facility of making wine that was available. So they had to work. Next thing what was that? These serfs were at the least category. What was that? They were like bonded labor. Means what was that? They had to work and in exchange of that they were getting very less wages, or you may say negligible amount of the wages, and even they had to work. And next thing, what was that? These serfs had no freedom and even marriages was done with the permission of masters, with the permission of the lords. It means if even they want to marry, they had to take the permission, and even they can't utilize of their own, they can't do anything of their own. They were totally dependent on the lords, and even in the fields or even other works they are to engage, and it means they were the maximum sufferer even comparison to the peasants or the farmers. What was that? These serfs had to you may say grind flour from their lords only. It means if they want to take anything from this, then they had to totally dependent. Yeah, they even if they want some flour, wheat flour, then they have to grind from the flour mill of their lords only. It means maximum prohibitions and foundations were there. They were not having a settled life, not free life. They were totally dependent on them. Okay, so these were the related to third order. Now, next thing about changes in environment. Changes in environment. What was that? Earlier, from 5th to 10th century, there was cold weather. What was that? It means the weather was cold and difficult for agriculture. It means what was that? Agriculture was not easy in these harsh conditions. The temperature was less, and next thing, what was that? A lot of forestry area. A lot of forestry area was available. A lot of forestry area was available, and due to this less availability of land for agriculture. It means enough land was not available for the peasants, for the lords or for others, because temperature was not suitable, land that was also not enough. So means these were some of the conditions. Next thing was that in 11th century there come some changes in weather. There come some changes in weather. What was that? Means the weather conditions, they were favoring the peasants. Means the temperature started to increase, and due to this agriculture was easily practiced. But the problem was that the land was limited. It means what was that? The use of land. The land was limited means that more amount of agriculture, or you may say more amount of forests were available. And what about that? The lords or the kings wanted to expand their empire as well as to increase taxes, as well as to increase agriculture land as well as taxes. And for this they will be needing more and more agriculture land, and that can be only possible if this forestry land is to be converted into this type of agriculture land. But there were some of the problems also. What was that? The farmers had to cultivate. The farmers had to cultivate. What was that means? What was that? Had to cultivate 2 crops and a fallow land is to be left. Means what was that? Wheat and rye are to be cultivated in the winter season or in autumn season, and one part, that one fallow land, means that land is left for uncultivation, because if the farmers will not leave that fallow land, then production will not be good. So because enough resources were not there, like as pesticides, fertilizers, HYV seeds are available now, at that time such things were not there, so production was also limited. What was that? The production was limited. The production was limited. Enough resources were not available. Enough resources were not available. Enough resources were not available. So production was very less. So production was very less. It means it was not enough for farmers as well as for the lords. Now there may be the contrast, there may be the differences between them. Now the farmers wanted that they should have some share, and the lords or the masters think that they should get maximum revenue. So it means such type of disputes or debates were also there between them. Now what was that? The lords wanted that farmers should cultivate more land, as compared to themselves, as compared to their land. More land as compared to their land. What means that? It means these lords wanted that the farmers should leave their land as vacant, as fallow land, and they should do maximum work on their land, because in exchange of that they will get revenue, the production will be more, and their treasury will also be fulfilled. But the farmers wanted that they should do maximum work on their land so that they can survive. So such type of the problems that were occurring in this type of the society, especially about the European society, because the farmers or the serfs, they also want some freedom, relaxation, but they were not getting enough freedom or rights. Okay.